Interestingly enough, today just so happens to be Rosa Parks' birthday that I'm making this video. And so what this video is about is that Rosa Parks serves as a perfect example of something that has nothing to do with race whatsoever. So I guess that's the first thing that I want to point out here is that this is a perfect example of something that transcends race and that you'll see anywhere all over the world, and that this has to do with the way things are. It has to do with those in control, Freemasonry, people who write history, and all the world's a stage. All of those ideas are perfectly encapsulated in this Rosa Parks thing. And I'll say it again, I think it has nothing to do with race. Somebody in my last video left a good comment talking about, like, where do gangs fit into this? All the world's a stage, Freemasonry, Baphomet, Orange 33 Club stuff. And the way it fits in is that this thing is bigger than class. The club is bigger than a money class system. And there's players among all different layers. And more than anything, a lot of times at the end of the day, what it comes down to is who you know, what connections you have, what you have access to. And a lot of these players, these people in the game, the ones who know about the club and they're in it and that's their life, a lot of times they look like really rich on the outside, but that'll just be a facade. They don't actually own anything, and it's like built into their contract. So a lot of times when you think that there are these different classes, it's not even true. The ones that you think are really rich, they're really just tied in on these contracts, and they probably don't really own a lot to themselves. That's how they keep them slaves to their contracts. And we know all about the handlers. They may look like this big fancy movie star, but then there's there's somebody that looks like just a regular person that's handling the situation. And so yeah, things aren't always what they seem, I guess. And the flip side of that is there will be some people that they seem really poor and they live very modestly, but they don't have to work a 9-to-5 job. They're able to sail around the whole world. They know about hidden knowledge. And anyways, so what this is about, it's not about race at the end of the day. Whereas I think that those in control play off of it, and they know that humans have a tribal nature to us, and it's just another divisive tactic. But I think that this is just an example that shows you that really there's only one team evil, and they're always going to step in, and they want to have the stage. It's all about having control of the narrative. And even if something interesting in real life does happen, this is like another aspect of this story that's really important, is that sometimes in life, real stuff does happen. And sometimes in life, real people do accomplish real things. But often what the bozos in charge do is they take inspiration from something that really happens, and they put one of their Muppets on stage in life and perform their own psyops, or their what is it, where a bunch of people appear in public and start dancing all of a sudden. Like, that's the type of magic these people have, is that they have a bunch of people who are in on it and willing to go be stupid and pretend. And anyways, lost my train of thought. Let's go through my photos. I've already rambled now. This is the real person. Claudette Colvin is the real inspiration behind Rosa Parks. I mean, it also reminds me of, this is one aspect of the Hollywood reality that they've created. They love to do something. They'll have an idea. They'll be like, I want to claim that I did this thing, this amazing thing. They have the idea first for this amazing story. And then they go put on a production. They go put on a play, a flash mob. They go make it happen, but it's all orchestrated. And then later, they can even write a book about it and say this is based off of real life, or they'll make a movie about it. This is based off of real life. Who's the author that Oprah made cry because Oprah made them admit that they just made up everything in their books? Yeah, that's kind of how this place works. You make it up. You write a story about it. You say, hey, it's in a book. It's real. Or you make a movie and you say based on real life. It becomes real. So that's how Rosa Parks works. Rosa Parks serves as an idol also, and I guess we'll get into that. Anyways, there's a real story behind Rosa Parks. Claudette Colvin should get all the credit. Some people will, okay, so there will be people that are sympathetic to Rosa Parks, and they'll say, well, yeah, she knew about it. But here's the thing. If Rosa Parks was a good person, was a real human being, they wouldn't accept all the praise, and they would say, hey, I'm just doing something that other people are doing, and look at this 15-year-old that did it over here, and I'm just taking inspiration from these other people. Nope, they don't say that. They love taking in all of the praise, and they set themselves up as an idol to be worshipped. People really do worship these people. And then it gets deeper with that because there's so many silly parts of this Rosa thing. Like, is Rosa Parks even black? Are they even black? And I've seen people sympathetic saying like, well, they needed somebody that they could sell to the public. The real person is not sellable to the public. So they needed Rosa Parks to do it. That's not an excuse. Why do people think that because you can come up with something that somehow justifies it? That makes it worse. So Rosa Parks knew that they were just a phony and that they were just more they could sell the image to the public. Like, who agrees to these things and thinks it's okay? People just say they have an excuse and then they think that justifies it. How does that justify it? The fact that they could sell this image more, that makes it worse. That they're judging the real person. Look, how racist is that? That they're like, nope, too black. But really, it doesn't come down to that. They're obsessed with control. They must control every situation. They're also obsessed with gematria, and it's all about getting the photos, right? If it's just a little 50-year-old black girl that did something, they can't sell that story as much if they have an actor, and who's working for them. So yeah, here you go. I mean, this is just something to keep in your back pocket, knowing, and it's just a good example of all the world's a stage. People who you think did these great things, very often they're liar. In my opinion, everybody on the world stage is just a big liar, and I don't know why this just came to my mind. Like even stories about like the guy who got his arm trapped under the rock out in the middle of nowhere and cut his arm off. I imagine that person probably lost their arm either doing something stupid, like blowing it off with a firecracker or something, an M80, or getting some just boring thing, like got crunched under a tire while doing something, or mechanical, and then they come up with this fantastical story to sell. I just don't believe anybody. I wasn't there to corroborate. How do we know? Anyways. But very often, I guess just to say again, these people are thieves. And that's what this is. They knew that they had something here and they were going to steal it and sell it themselves and then not give any credit to the person who really did it. This is just the way that the world works. Another thing that this reminds me of is just a story that personally happened to me. They don't want regular people in the spotlight, and these people are at all levels of society and of course all the institutions. So this happened to me at an institution, a university. They were giving out an award for like the best graduate student who was a teacher, and for all the years previous, and it was just like a known thing that the way that they made this decision was just based off of your reviews that you got. When your students would give you a review, and they tallied those numbers. Anybody that's worked in academia knows that they put way too much emphasis on these stupid numbers. So there's data collection going on, numbers. We all could communicate with one another. All of the grad students, we knew our numbers and we knew each other's numbers. I knew I had the highest numbers. And then we come to the day of the the event. Well, actually, I knew before then because they tell you ahead of time if you're going to get an award. So we knew that all of us got an award, and I was like, this is a bunch of bullshit. But that's just the way that this world works. They that was like the best they could do. If they could figure out a way to have not given me the award and given it to someone else that is in the club, I'm sure they would have done that. But it was just better to just give it to everybody, I guess, in that situation. So this is just one example of there's a real life person. The Claudette person was probably a real life situation. They don't want that person to have any sort of fame, and so they're going to take their own club member and illuminate them. Here's a chance for one of our golden children. So this comes into golden children. A lot of people are going to feel this because you've actually grown up in families where some of your family members knew about all this stuff going on behind the scenes, and they didn't tell you about it. Golden children come into this very much. Illuminated individuals. These people work. This is their modus operandi. This is how they work. They purposefully choose certain people and then put them in the spotlight and then push down others and ignore others. And if you're not in the club, you will not be chosen to be taken under the wing of one of those teachers and put up, and you won't be given the same opportunities. If you're a regular person, you'll probably go through life wondering, like, yeah, how come, I mean, I just always got ignored. Why did nobody, like, put me under their wing and help me out? Well, it's because you're not one of them. So unless you're very lucky and run into just a wholesome, real human being, they don't help regulars. You need to be one of them. I mean, something that comes to my mind is I had just been fired from my job out of nowhere. I was horribly depressed and I needed help, and I was like trying to get help from my landlord runs a shop, and it's like nobody wants to help you if you're not one of them. And anyways. So, I mean, is this person even black? Very large knuckles. A lot of black and white motifs with this person. Always with the glasses, too. But look at this access. Why doesn't the Colette, why doesn't the real person get access to Martin Luther King? Why isn't the real person getting to do any of these things? Well, because they're not a part of the club. You don't get to be. I've already rambled a lot. Yeah, so a lot of black and white checker, black and white stripes involved. I thought these were funny. Rosa Parks as a child, showing the actual person. Rosa Parks could be a totally fabricated person. I guess this is just another point, too. Did I bring up that Rosa Parks happens to be born in February, which February has to do with Black History Month, because they decided on February because, like, Abe Lincoln's birthday was in February, somebody else's birthday was in February. So it's very possible that Rosa Parks was just a totally made-up person on the spot. And these Freemasons, they like to, make yourself, fake it till you make it, become a new person. They fake their deaths. This is something, I'll do a video, I'll eventually get around to it. But, I mean, I've been doing videos kind of on this topic, talking about just the way these people work is larger than life. Make a character, and then don't break. You fake it till you make it. And it's very possible that Rosa Parks, like, why is this coming up with Rosa Parks as a child? It's possible Rosa Parks never really had a childhood, and that they just fabricated on the spot, and then they write a backstory. That is so common for these historical figures, where they really don't have a childhood because it's a Freemasonic actor, or a Baffo Club, whatever, Orange 33er. They're an actor who's just becoming that person, and then so they have to write a backstory. Looked like Julia Louis-Dreyfus to me over here. So in my opinion, this is just some bozo. They already were in the club, and they needed an actor on the world stage to take credit, and they were just taking inspiration from somebody who wasn't in the club. So they're thieves. These people are liars. They're thieves. So it shouldn't be surprising at all that they steal it. They see a good idea and they steal it and they make it their own. And that's what they do. Here again with the black and white, and always making statement pieces with the glasses. So it's part of the character. And I think stuff like that is kind of hinting at the fact that is this a person? Is it a character? To me, all the black and white and statement piece glasses kind of reminds me of AOC, at least the Cortez person. The first woman to lie in state after a lie, like, interesting choice of word. Yeah. In my opinion, that's lying. To present yourself as something you're not, to take an idea from somebody else, present yourself as something they're not, and then take all the credit for it, and then bury the fact that but this is how the world works. What? Musicians do the same thing. Led Zeppelin stole songs, passed it off for their own, don't give credit. This is just how the world works, and it's unfair. And it's us versus them. It's not black versus white. It is us versus them. The wheat and the tares, the father or the children of the devil, and the children of God. You either love the truth or you love the lie. And the Bible says that Satan is the prince of the power of the air. In my opinion, that's clearly talking about the media. The media is real, it lives, and it's satanic. Doesn't look black to me at all. Before the bus, Rosa Parks was a sexual assault investigator. That is weird. How many black women back in the day would be able to investigate sexual assault? That sounds like Rosa Parks has always been an insider. These aren't the types of things that normal, average, everyday. I thought black people were heavily oppressed, women heavily oppressed. How are you so high up there? And then the phony phone. So this just makes me ask so many more questions. Sexual assault investigator. Didn't Hillary Clinton have some crazy similar things like that? They are just a prop on the world stage, kind of like Luigi. It reminded me of Luigi. Have you guys seen this at all? How Disney just blatantly will rip off artists' work and sell it? And so the point I wanted to get at here is there is an artist at Disney who literally stole somebody's design, erased their name off of it, passed it off as their own work, and they just get to keep continuing life. And that's because they're a club member. They're in the club. The club members, the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no... They've all agreed that they steal, they lie, they cheat. But they're going to use whatever they're able to. Very often their trick is to just disappear. Just stay quiet. They know that if you want something to go away, you just don't talk about it. And if people bring it up, you total denial till the grave, act like you can't even hear what people are saying. That is something that they do. And so here, like, where's the outrage from Disney? Why aren't they putting this person out and saying, look at this person who worked for us and made 6 figures and they were just stealing art? Nope, just total cover up, and it's because they're all friends with one another. And the guy who made the Disney, the guy who made the original artwork isn't in the club. He's lower on the totem pole. He might know some stuff, but if you're lower on the Illuminati pyramid, nobody cares. Does not even look black to me. This isn't my opinion, but this was just something I found interesting. Because I thought this photo was interesting over here. And the glasses. Something about this character and the glasses are very important. We got some polka dots. Yeah, if I would not guess that person is black. I like these photos because how white Rosa looks compared to normal looking black people. So yeah, I would say Rosa Parks is an abnormal looking black person. Are they even black? What is going on? Okay. Access, the elites. It's really blinding white. Rosa Parks is glowing like an angel in the foreground. Muhammad Ali is also pretty light skinned, and it's not about the skin color. It's about us versus them. But they do play these mind games, and like Rachel Dolezal, those people, they're in the club and they know, they watch each other do these things, that they can, the outrageous things that these people get away with. They're the big lie. This was really funny. It's access, elites, normal people. Why doesn't Claudette get to hang out with Stephen Hawking? Paisley. Is that Paisley? Paisley's 33. Got a Joker smile on this one. That was a creepy Joker smile. Looks like 4 black ladies and question marks. I wouldn't... The middle one looks very different from the others, strangely enough. If you're like, one of these women, if somebody, I mean, I wouldn't even recognize the person in the middle, to be honest. So if somebody was like, one of these women is a prominent black civil rights person, who would you think? Doesn't even look black. Whoa, look at this. I kind of just want to stop on this one. Oh, it's like somebody lost a bet. Yikes. Very, Princess Diana. It's like Princess Diana's long-lost sister right there. That is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. God bless everyone.